They are all watching you. You feel it every day. What will they think? That question costs you everything. Every word, every move. He solved this problem 2,000 years ago. Tonight you learn how to stop caring for good without losing yourself. Someone said something about you, and you cannot stop thinking. You posted something. The reaction was not what you hoped. Someone questioned your decision. You feel exposed, judged, evaluated. All the time, everywhere. That feeling is not weakness. It is a habit, and habits can be broken. The Stoics called it the opinion trap. Freedom from it exists. It is teachable. Right now, 10,000 people have an opinion about someone. None of it matters. This video is about protecting your king, your mind. Let us begin. 6 Stoic principles. Starting now. Still grounded, free. This is your direction. Your thinking is about to change. Section 1. The Stoic mirror. You are not what they see. The Stoics taught that other people's opinions are not about you. They are a reflection of the person holding the opinion. What people think of you reveals their values, their fears, their filters. It tells you almost nothing true about who you actually are. Marcus Aurelius was criticized constantly as emperor. He wrote that the opinions of others were simply whether passing, uncontrollable, irrelevant to his direction. Your identity is not constructed from the outside in. It is built from the inside out. The Stoics understood this as the foundation of all freedom. Right now, someone is forming an opinion about you. They are doing it without your full story, without your context, and without your permission. What they see is a version of you filtered through everything they have experienced. It is a portrait painted by someone who has never met you fully. The Stoics practiced something they called prosage, radical attention to your own inner state, instead of the state of the room around you. When you stop requiring the room to approve, your presence in every room changes completely. You arrive without needing anything from it. That question is the entire Stoic exercise. The person you are in private is the only version of you that is real. Indifference to being overlooked is not coldness. It is the result of being so clear about your own value that external validation becomes unnecessary. The ability to remain in your own experience while the world performs around you is one of the rarest and most powerful things a person can develop. The Stoics did not ignore feedback entirely. They filtered it. Useful data from trusted sources was welcomed. Noise from everyone else was released. Most of the opinions that affect you daily fall into the noise column. The work is learning to sort them without letting the noise reach your nervous system. You are allowed to hear something and not keep it. You are allowed to let an opinion pass through you the way wind passes through an open window. The Stoic mirror is not the one on your wall. It is the one inside your mind. When that reflection is clear, no outside distortion can confuse you. Section 2. The dichotomy of opinion, what is yours and what is not. Epictetus built his entire philosophy on one distinction: what is up to you and what is not. Other people's opinions are not up to you, ever. The moment you try to control what someone thinks of you, you have already lost. You are now living inside a problem you cannot solve. Your work does not change because someone disapproved of it. The quality of your decision does not shift because someone questioned it. That is the Stoic anchor. Epictetus was a slave who was tortured by his master. He told him, "You can break my leg, but you cannot touch my mind." That is the dichotomy lived. You do not owe anyone an explanation for choices that belong to you. The need to justify yourself to people outside your circle is the opinion trap tightening. The Stoics called consistent behavior virtue. It means your actions are sourced from your values, not your audience. The audience can never destabilize you. That sentence, believed fully, removes more anxiety than any therapy, any medication, any distraction. It is not cruelty. It is clarity. The Stoics practiced negative visualization, imagining bad outcomes before they happened, so the mind was never ambushed. Their opinion of you was always on the list. When you have practiced the dichotomy, difficult opinions become information you process rather than attacks you absorb. The posture changes. The mind stays standing. Most people give influence to hundreds of opinions from people whose judgment they would never actually trust with a real decision. The Stoics named this clearly: inconsistency. Protecting your mind from other people's opinions is also about choosing which conversations you enter and how long you stay. Exit is a Stoic tool. When your direction is clear, opinions become irrelevant automatically. You are not ignoring them. You are simply too focused on where you are going to stop and read them. One of the most powerful things you can do for your mental freedom is remove the systems designed to make other people's opinions feel urgent. They are not urgent. The Stoic practice is simple. Plan from your values, not from the crowd. When the plan comes from inside, outside opinion has no address to deliver to. You are the field, not the wind. What people think passes through. You remain. That is the dichotomy of opinion practiced until it becomes who you are. Section 3. The armor of indifference, building the unaffected mind. Indifference is not apathy. Apathy is not caring about anything. Indifference is caring deeply about the right things and nothing about the wrong ones. The Stoics imagine the mind as armor, not to keep the world out entirely, but to choose what gets through and what does not. You build the armor, you control the gate. When someone criticizes you, the Stoic response is one question: is this true and useful? If yes, receive it. If no, release it. Neither response requires emotion. The silence you choose after a provocation is not weakness. It is the most powerful response available. The Stoics called silence a complete sentence. That reframe, opinion as a package you can refuse, is one of the most practical Stoic tools for daily life. You decide what enters, not them. The unaffected mind does not need to win the argument. It does not need validation. It does not need the other person to agree. It simply needs to remain itself. The Stoics called this equanimity, a stable inner state that does not rise and fall with the temperature of the room. It is trained, not inherited. You can absorb information without absorbing the emotional charge attached to it. That skill, separating the signal from the noise, is the core of the unaffected mind. Every interaction is a test of where your self-worth lies. If it lives inside you, the tone of the room cannot reach it. If it lives outside, every tone is a threat. Physical reminders of Stoic principles are not childish. They are strategic interruptions of automatic emotional responses. The Stoics kept written reminders constantly near them. The unaffected mind does the same work whether witnessed or not. That consistency is not discipline. It is identity. It is who you have decided to be permanently. Building the unaffected mind is not a destination. It is a daily practice. Every moment of choosing your response over your reaction is one more brick in the armor. The truly unaffected mind is not just immune to negative opinion. It is also undisturbed by excessive praise. Both are weather. The mind is the sky behind them. You do not need to become cold to become unaffected. You need to become clear. Clarity about what matters is the armor that no opinion can penetrate. Section 4. The Stoic observer, watching your own reactions without judgment. The Stoics practiced a technique called the view from above. You step outside your own reaction and observe it as if watching someone else. The distance changes everything. When you observe your reaction to an opinion instead of immediately living inside it, you create a space. In that space is the freedom to choose your response deliberately. Marcus Aurelius described this as the space between stimulus and response. That space is where your freedom lives. The Stoics spent their lives expanding it one breath at a time. The evening review was a Stoic daily practice. They did not ask what happened to me today. They asked, how did I respond to what happened, and was that response worthy of my values? Journaling is not therapy. For the Stoics, it was self-command. Writing the reaction down removes it from the body and places it on the page where it can be examined and released. The observer notices the want. The Stoic does not shame the want. He simply chooses not to act from it. That choice made daily builds the unaffected mind permanently. Watching yourself react to opinion without judging the reaction is the hardest part of this practice. The Stoics were not interested in perfection. They were interested in awareness. You are the audience of your own mind. The reactions are the performance. When you watch them instead of becoming them, you are no longer controlled by them. One journal entry per trigger. That is the practice, not to process endlessly, to name it, note it, close it. The Stoics moved on. They did not camp in their emotions. Stillness is not the absence of reaction. It is the presence of the observer. When you are watching, you are not lost inside. The Stoic practiced being the flame, not the air around it. The pause between trigger and response is a muscle. Every time you choose it over reaction, it grows. After enough repetitions, the pause becomes the default. The reaction becomes optional. The Stoic observer does not need the world to behave a certain way to feel okay. He carries his okay inside him. That is the final form of the practice and the beginning of real freedom. Section 5. The permanent shift, when you stop needing approval forever. There is a moment the Stoics described when the practice stops being practice and becomes nature. When the question of what people think simply stops arising in your mind. That shift does not happen from reading. It happens from repetition. From 100 small moments of choosing your own judgment over someone else's noise, it accumulates invisibly. When the shift happens, you notice it in small moments first. A comment that would have ruined your day passes through you in seconds. The space between trigger and peace shrinks to nothing. The Stoics called this autarkeia, self-sufficiency of mind. The state of needing nothing from the outside to feel complete on the inside. It is the destination of all their practices. When you stop needing approval, your presence in every room changes. People feel it. They cannot name it. But something about the way you hold yourself communicates that you are not available to be destabilized. One of the first signs of the shift is that you begin making decisions based on your values instead of your reputation. The question changes from how will this look to is this right? Epictetus said the measure of a man is not what he achieves, but what he maintains under pressure. Maintaining yourself under the pressure of other people's opinions is the achievement. The permanent shift is not about becoming immune to human connection. It is about removing the anxiety from it. You can care about people deeply without needing their opinion to survive. The grip loosens, not because you stopped caring about your life, because you stopped handing its quality to strangers to manage for you. This is what mastery of opinion looks like from the outside. Not indifference to life, total presence within your own. The outside world lost its power over your inside world. The Stoics did not promise you a life where no one judged you. They promised something better. A life where the judgment could not reach the part of you that matters most. What they think is the rain. You are the flame. You can feel the cold without being extinguished by it. That is the permanent shift. That is the Stoic secret. Section 6. What to do tonight. 5 practices that begin now. Tonight, write the only names whose feedback genuinely belongs in your decision-making. Then notice how many opinions you have been carrying from people not on that list. Write your Stoic anchor sentence tonight. One line that reminds your nervous system of the distinction between what is yours and what is not. Read it every morning. Remove the urgency from opinions tonight. Turn off notifications that deliver other people's reactions in real time. Real-time opinion is not information. It is noise with a timestamp. Begin the Stoic evening review tonight. 5 minutes. 3 questions only. Where did I react instead of respond? Whose opinion entered without permission? And what would I do differently? Name one moment from today when you chose someone else's opinion over your own judgment. Write it. Then write what your own judgment actually was. That is the practice. Write your value list tonight. 5 things you actually care about, not 5 things that look good. Then honestly check your last week against that list. The gap is your direction. These practices do not fix everything tonight, but they begin the shift. And the shift, once begun, does not stop. The Stoics knew this. Now you do too. The Stoic secret was never a secret. It was a practice, available to anyone, used by almost no one. Begin tonight. You came into this video feeling the weight of other people's opinions. You are leaving with something better than relief. You are leaving with a tool. That man who walked in at the beginning was you. But watch what changes when the opinion trap no longer has your address. Right now across the world, someone is lying awake replaying a comment someone made. Someone is changing who they are to fit what a stranger prefers. And somewhere a person who found the Stoic practice is sleeping through all of it. Unbothered, not because the world is quiet, because their mind is. That sentence is yours now, not as a mantra, as a decision made once, held permanently. Everything the Stoics built pointed here. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire and still found time every night to remind himself that other people's opinions were not his business. He had more power than anyone alive, and he chose freedom over approval. You have the same choice available every single day, not once, every day. And the days you choose it are the days you are actually free. Subscribe to The Rational Wealthy for daily content that helps you think clearly and build wealth on your own terms. The opinion of the world about your life is the least important data point you have. The Stoics knew this. Now you do too. Act accordingly. Think clearly, build wealth. The Rational Wealthy.